Hey y'all, this is Dane, physical therapist over at Warm Springs Holistic Health, and today I'd like to talk about meditation. Now, meditation is one of the daily activities that has been shown in the research to improve overall well-being. Now, what is meditation? It's a state of mindfulness where you are aware of your thoughts and feelings, and ultimately the idea is to recognize those, but then not to hold them too long, and so you end up letting those stressors go, and ideally you do so without judging yourself. So it ends up being a very kind, loving practice, and it can be done in a lot of different ways. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. You just need to give yourself some space, which is countercultural in a way. The culture that we live in, that we all live in, values speed and multitasking, and it doesn't value just sitting by yourself in a quiet way. And so it might feel weird, and it might not feel all that natural to give yourself that time, but it has been shown to be just so very important. So one of the techniques that I've used over the last year or so is the idea of a train. And so you imagine this train in the distance, and each of those train cars represents a different stressor. And so you acknowledge that stressor, you take it, hold it, look at it, and then you just place it back on that train car as it chugs off into the distance. And so that can just be a basic general or a basic visualization for acknowledging some stresses and letting them go. I have a friend who imagines a river, and so the river is just flowing along, and little logs come along, and she says she just takes her stresses and places them on those logs and watches them float off into the distance. So these can be just a couple techniques. I would encourage you to find one that works for you, and find ways to acknowledge the stress in your lives, but also to let go and not to carry this stress all day long. That's been one of the most powerful things for me. I used to, we'll say, resentment. I say someone does something, I resent them for, what used to be a full day. I would carry that all day long. And now I feel like I've been able to, once I acknowledge it, I can let it go so much quicker, and I just feel lighter throughout the day. And I know it has biological, it's making biological changes in my system. So I would encourage you all to give it a shot to some degree, whether you have 2 minutes or 2 hours. It's worth it. Thank you.